My name's Sue Cathcart and I work in the Ulster Folk Museum in the Education Department. And this is Jack Cathcart, my son, and he volunteers in the museum. We can't be in the Folk Museum today, unfortunately, because it's shut because of the coronavirus, but we're going to show you something that we make in the Folk Museum for schools when they come in, and something that you can make at home.
Yeah, so today we're going to make our own homemade butter using our makeshift churn here, which is just an empty mayonnaise jar washed out. So for making your own butter, which you can then flavour with whatever you want, we have first of all double cream, but you can also use whipping cream just as long as it's a thick cream. Don't use sour cream. Or sour cream, you wouldn't use sour cream anyway, but don't use single cream.
Definitely don't use sour cream.
Yeah, definitely don't use sour cream. And then we've got things to flavour it, as I was saying, so salt, just to make salted butter as you usually would. Nice lemon or garlic, anything like that, or you could think of any kind of herbs or spices or anything to make a kind of herb butter.
What you're going to use it for.
Depending on what you're going to use it for, you can use lots of different things.
Yeah, but the important thing is to get double cream because you want lots of nice fat in your cream.
Yeah.
We don't want single cream because that's just not fatty enough. And this cream is cream that's been left out. It's not chilled cream. Because in olden days, our cream would have come straight from the cow, but we don't have a cow, so we had to go and get our cream from the shop.
So first of all, you take your double cream and we're going to just pour it into the empty mayonnaise jar.
It doesn't have to be a mayonnaise jar, it can be any other kind of jar. This is a mayonnaise jar, it's quite a good size. And there's nothing else in there at all, it's just cream.
And then all we do, a little bit of salt to it, unless it was going to be unsalt.
Huh? Yeah, a couple of pinches, yeah. Okay, that's, yeah, it's good. And then, so we've just got salt and cream in the clean jar. And then the lid on really
nice and tight.
tightly.
And then all we're going to do to thicken this up and turn it into butter is to shake it very well.
Okay, so we just start shaking.
Shaking process.
So there are lots and lots of myths and legends around butter, especially at this time of year, May, because May time was the time when there were lots of fairies and butter witches around, and they could come along and they could steal your butter, and it was considered very, very unlucky at that time to give anybody fire, water or salt around about May Day time. Because there was all sorts of myths again about salt, which we've just put in our butter, and you should never ever ever lend anybody salt, because that's lending somebody your luck, and if your house runs out of salt, your house runs out of luck. So salt, very important. So Jack's shaking away, and in olden times people would have had little churns. They might have had churns that sat on tables, and you can see those in the Folk Museum, or they might have had really, really big ones that you would pound up and down. But we're using an ordinary jar, and I've met people who said that they used to make this when they were wee, and they used to have butter parties where everybody would sit round and they'd pass the jar around. Okay, how's that going? Can we have a look at that, do you think? Let's have a look. We're going to see what...
Oh yeah, so it's gone.
So that looks like that's just nicely whipped up beaten cream. You might put on a pavlova or a bit of apple pie, but that's not butter, obviously. So you're going to have to keep on going. So this is a good workout as well. So you're going to keep shaking away. So things that you could do to ward off butter stealing fairies would be to strew wildflowers along your windowsills and your doorsteps to stop the fairies getting in, and they would be wildflowers, and they would be flowers that kind of were redolent of butter. That's the yellow flowers. I couldn't find any buttercups today, so we just had to have daisies, I'm afraid. I was like going So we strew those around to stop the butter fairies getting in and stealing stuff. So we get into the second bit. This is the bit where you think, this has all gone terribly wrong and it's not working. Can we have a look at that? So it's gone all kind of like, it's like, oh dear, what's happened? And you're kind of thinking, that's just not working. But it is. This is the bit where you have to keep on going and shake like mad. And I met a lady who said that people couldn't make butter if they were in love. So we just hope that Jack's not in love today, because if he is, he can't make butter. So butter was very important. All milk products were very important in the cottage because the housewife could make lots of nice things and she could sell her stuff at market. And in the folk museum you'll see some lovely little butter pats and butter stamps which if you put on butter they'd make a nice little imprint of a flower or a cockerel. And so if the housewife sold her butter at market, if you liked it you knew to always look out for the butter that had this lady's stamp on it. Right, how's that going, Jack?
Okay.
So it's starting, all the fat is starting to come together. Okay. So that's buttermilk that you can hear and see. Do you want to just have a look at that? Let's have a look at it and see what it looks like. Because this is very good, this is excellent. Can you just see that big lump of golden butter? And that's buttermilk. Right, this is the bit where you have to keep on going because you've got to try and get as much buttermilk as possible out of the butter. Because we want to be able to keep our lovely butter for maybe a week or so, or just as long as any butter. But if you have buttermilk in your butter, the buttermilk milk goes off. So we want to get rid of as much as possible. So you keep on going. Right, so now we're going to pour out. Can you see what it looks like in the jar? I'm going to pour out. So there's your lovely buttermilk, which of course you can use to make soda bread. And we make soda bread all the time in the folk museum. If you come and visit us, you'll be able to come up and see us make it. And this is the bit where...
You'll need something to...
Yeah, a spoon, okay. Do you want to use the other end? Because these are very clean. Yeah. I've scrubbed and scourged these madly. And what Jack's using is the end of the butter pat, and these butter pats belong to my granny, Jack's great granny. Okay, so we've got, you can look and see, so there's our lovely yellow butter and there's the buttermilk. So what we've got to do now is we've got to try and pour this off into the jar. Okay, is this... And it's pretty amazing to think that this is just cream, and that's actually what cream is made out of, a lot of fat, which is why it tastes so nice. Okay, so what you're going to do next, we're going to have to do something called washing the butter, which is to get the buttermilk out. So I'm going to pour this in, and you can just press it a bit to get any excess buttermilk out. Okay, so I'm going to pour this in. This is just ordinary water. You can do this in your sink at home, and you can see there's more buttermilk coming out of that. So you want to kind of press it a bit. Okay, lovely. And if you don't have butter pats, which you probably don't, you just use a wooden spoon. And you can shape it, Jack can shape it, make it look beautiful, ready for market. That's lovely. Put it down like that. And there is our beautiful butter, sorted butter, which will be delicious on a bit of fresh soda bread. So we hope you try this at home, and then we hope when the museum is opened again that you will come along and visit us, and we can make butter together. Thank you very much.